All right, you've seen us build the decks. Here they are. We got them all sleeved up, ready to go. Comments that I'd like to know from you guys before you watch this video. Is it going to come into play that I've got about 10 more cards? Who knows? I'd be interested. When we said possibility of mirror match.
Surprisingly, almost a mirror match.
Yeah. 10 total card difference between the decks. When we sat down and analyzed it, I've got 8 cards. He's got 2 that the other one doesn't have in the deck. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. I think it's going to come down to card draw, and I think that pilfer is going to come into play. I think it's going to be very vital to get that one piece of one of our hands out of there.
Yes.
That's my prediction. Why don't you come back and see how close we were?
As always, we got the Phyrexian Arena as our promo. We do not open promos, so we have pulled 2 of our other copies to add them into the decks.
We pulled copies from some of our other stuff to pull into these decks, so that's why you don't see the Phyrexian opened. All right, here we are. We are down to the play portion of this brew down. Got my deck all set up. Got my 7 cards drawn.
Got my 7 cards here.
Okay, we're going to roll to see who goes first. Go ahead and call it.
Highest as always.
Highest. I got it. I'll take it. So I will be on the play. Resolve mulligans if we would like. Yeah, I'm going to have to mulligan. For those viewing at home, the way we do mulligans is first mulligan is free, then after that it costs you a card. I know that's not the London mulligan, but that's kind of the one we've gotten used to. So I had 1 land, and it was not the majority of the cards in my hand. So
I will keep.
Lucky you. So as a reminder, this is Foundations, so we will be using the new combat rule that they've changed on us. So during the video, if you happen to run across that we slow down on that part, it's because we haven't used it before. There's 6, there's 7, there's my free one.
See if it's worth keeping this time.
It is worth it strictly because I've got more than 1 land. So, and they're different colors.
All right.
All right,
We're
going to get started. I'm going to start off by making sure. Oh yeah, I'm going to be playing a plains, and I'm going to start this mess off with my Healing Hawk.
All right.
Lifelink flying 1/1.
Let me withdraw. Okay. I will see that plains and just pass.
All right, I will untap, no upkeep, draw, drop the swamp. I'm going to fly in and smack you for 1. With lifelink, that brings my total to 21.
Go ahead and go down 1.
And I'm going to drop my reassembling skeleton. That was the other reason I kept this, is I had plays for the first 2 rounds. All right, I'm done.
All right. Nothing to untap. Let's draw a card. Play a swamp. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and play a pilfer. Target opponent reveals their hand if you would. I choose an all-in card from it, and then make you discard it.
Well, you got your choice here. These are in play.
We'll go ahead and get rid of your
Lifelink.
savior.
Is it exile or discard?
Discards.
Okay, so there's my discard pile.
Alright, and that will be my turn.
Yep. I think that pilfer is going to be the main card for both of us this time. Swing for 2.
Take
1 of its
2.
lifelink, bring me to 22. And I'm done.
Alright, untap. I'll keep draw. Play a swamp. And then let's do 2 and 1 black and 2 colors for a Stormkirk Blood Thief. 2/2 at the beginning of my end step. If an opponent lost life this turn, put +1/+1 counter on target vampire I control. And I will pass the turn.
He's a vampire.
He is a vampire.
So he can do himself. All right. You know what? That card's going to come back to haunt you. Pilfer. I'd like to see what you've got now.
Helpful Hunter. Gutless Plunderer. A land. a land, and exquisite.
Oh,
Exquisite.
exquisite. All right. So we got Drain Me, add yours, draw a card, and your Death Touch guy. Yeah, we're going to get ready to extenuate. I don't want you draining me later.
All right.
So, has he got flying?
No, he does not.
Healing Hawk's going to come visit you for
All
one.
right.
Gain another one. And I'm done.
You have to untap, draw. Well, I'll play one of those planes that you saw.
We'll see if your choice to take out a creature versus my choice to take out a drain comes to play later.
I will go ahead and swing my 2/2 at you.
All right. I won't block you. I go to 21.
All right. Unfortunately, he does not have lifelinks.
I think it's fortunate he doesn't have lifelink.
Let's do 2 and a 1 for a Gutless Plunderer. Raid will trigger when this creature enters. If I attack this turn, I look at the top 3 cards of my library. I'm going to put one of those cards back on top, the rest into my graveyard.
That gives him a ground blocker still.
I'll put 1 on top and 2 lands into my graveyard.
Well, you seem to be getting mana flooded this turn.
Right. And that will be my turn.
All right.
At end of turn, he will trigger, and I will put a +1/+1 counter on him.
Hey, there we go. Untap straight into draw because I had no upkeep triggers. And I'm going to play 1. I'm going to sack the skeleton. And I'm going to do Eaten Alive on your guy before he gets too big.
Exile.
He is exiled. I had to sack a creature and play 1 black. So, and I'll return to the battlefield. Tapped. For 1 black, 1 colorless, swing in for 1.
Move that 1.
I put that guy up there. All right. That's my turn.
All right. Let's untap. I'll keep draw. Play a land for turn. Go ahead and tap 2 for a Helpful Hunter. When it enters, I draw a card.
Card draw is going to be important in this game. As you know, during the setup, we talked about our decks. We are playing almost a mirror match here. Almost every card between the 2 of our decks is the same.
Tap 2 more for a Pride Mate.
Oh boy.
And since you're open, let's go ahead and hit you for 2.
Down to 20.
That'll be my turn.
All right. If I can get my Pride Mate out, I can get ahead of you. Untap, no upkeep. We got to draw. That doesn't do much good. Swing for 1.
Take the 1.
And Mr. Helicock is getting his workout this turn, or this round. All right, I'm done.
Untap everything. Draw for turn. Let's play a swamp. 3 and 2 for Valkyrie's Call. Whenever a non-token, non-angel creature I control dies, return it to the battlefield under my control with a +1/+1 counter on it. It has flying and is an angel in addition to its other types. I will swing the Death Touch and the Hunter at you.
How big is the Death Touch?
2/2.
All right. The Hunter's 1/1?
Hunter's a 1/1.
Okay. We'll block the 2/2.
All right.
He will die. And then
Bring him back.
bring him right back tapped. But I take the 1 from the
I'll
Hunter.
take the 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. Untap. No upkeep triggers. Draw. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to be playing something out of my graveyard. Unfortunately, I have to tap out to do this. I'm going to play Zombify, one of the cards that I don't believe you used. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So got rid of him a while ago. He's back, which it's kind of funny. It's the exact same cost it would have cost me to cast him. He has lifelink. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. So I would put a +1/+1 counter on him, and a +1/+1 counter on him. Let's bring in the Hawk to a 2/2. Bring him to a 3/4.
3/4.
3/4. All right, and the Hawk's going to swing in for 2.
All right, and I'll take 2.
Ooh. All right.
And we'll untap, upkeep, draw another land. I will swing with everything.
Okay. I
Total
will.
of 5.
And I can't bring him back this turn, so I won't block with him. I'm just going to let it all through. You said 5?
5, yep.
I will take 5 off, bringing me to 17.
All right.
Oh, sorry. You're not done?
No, and I'll pass.
Okay. Well, I am going to put Fleeting Flight on my Savior. He had a +1/+1 counter on it and fell off. Fleeting Flight, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, gains fly until end of turn, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it this turn. So he becomes a 4/5.
All right.
And I will swing out back at you. 4,
5, 6,
6, 7.
7. All right, and go down to 5.
And I will play a Youthful Valkyrie. Youthful Valkyrie is flying. When another angel you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature.
All right.
And that's it for me.
Then Fleeting Flight should fall off.
Yep. I put that there as a reminder. So he's no longer flying, ladies and gentlemen. He's just until the end of turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
I forgot to get my 2 life off of the life link to bring me up to 19.
1, 2, 3.
And he was a 4/5.
4, 5.
So it's an additional 4.
Let's have an Inspiring Paladin. During my turn, this creature has First Strike as a 3/3. During your turn, creatures you control with a +1/+1 counter on them have First Strike. All right. I will pass.
All right. We'll untap. No reach, no flying. Well, I have to continue to press, so that's a total of 1, 2, 3 in the air.
All right, and go down to 2.
And it's 1, 2, 3. And Tiny Bones makes an appearance. When an opponent discards a card, exile that with a stash counter. We'll be using these white ones if I get a chance. For stash counters, during your turn, you may play cards that have a stash counter on there. Use any mana. And 3 and a black, so it costs 4 for each opponent to discard a card. And it can only be done as a sorcery. So, I'm done.
All right. Let's untap and draw.
All right. I'm trying not to flip cards over here, but I'm still rotating my cards.
Well, I don't think it's going to help. It will not help, but might as well go out swinging.
Go for it.
Pay 2 Vengeful Blood Witch. Whenever this creature or another creature I control dies, target opponent loses life, I gain a life, and I shall swing out with everything.
No +1/+1 counter.
No
so
+1.
he's the only one with First Strike, right?
Yes, he's the only one with First Strike.
All right.
3, 7, 8. That's what you're looking at.
I'm still going to block the 2/2 guy with my thing. So 6.
6.
And I got just enough to bring it back. Tapped.
Right.
Done?
And I'll pass.
All right. Upkeep. No upkeep triggers after I untap here. And I'll draw. Oh my gosh, my fifth land. I just want to do this because I got
Yeah.
Tiny Bones out. Normally I would just attack, but let's go ahead and hit you. Discarding your card. It goes with a stash counter.
Is a Revenge of the Rats.
All right. Not that it matters because I'm going to swing out for, oops, 3. All flying.
Yep. I don't.
That'll do it.
Nothing to do.
All right. Both cards I had in my hand were 5 drops. So.
That explains getting rid of that. Was the smart move.
I was right. The pilfer comes into play.
5. Yeah. 5 life.
All right.
Due to me losing, I will be on to play.
All right. Resolve mulligans. Life total is reset. Okay, we're good.
You know, I'll keep it. Why not?
Yeah, I will be a keep also on this one.
Right. I will change it up a little bit. I will start with a swamp this game, and I'll pass.
You know what? I'll follow suit. I do not have 1 drop black. Go.
I will draw. Play plains. Tap 2 for Swiftfoot.
Mr. Hexproof.
All right. I'll pass.
Nothing to untap. Draw. Black. Tap both. Black. He's back. Reassembling skeleton. He just does not go away.
No, he does not.
And I'm done.
Untap. Draw.
Question is, does he get to come in for a point here and there?
Play a second plains. Now, Strorn Kirk Blood Thief will be entering the battlefield.
How big is that guy?
2/2.
Not liking that.
I will be passing the turn.
Well, we're going to go ahead and put a plains out this time. And here it is. I've never actually played this card ever in my entire life till now. Phyrexian Arena.
Nice.
So, and for those at home, you probably already know it, but at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, lose a life. So I now have an upkeep trigger. I'll be moving one of my stash counters onto there to remind me of my upkeep trigger. I will not attack. Your go.
Untap. No upkeep. Draw. I'll play a plains. I'll pay 4 for the Felidar Savior, putting a +1/+1 counter on my Blood Thief and on himself too. And then let's go ahead and swing for 3 at you.
I have to take it.
Right. Move to instep. He will get another +1/+1 counter. Now I'll pass the turn.
All right. Lose a life. Draw a card. Now, draw step. Draw a card. Oh, it feels good to draw cards. Yeah, we're going to balance it out. We're going to put our planes down. So, we've got 2 of each. What to do? You know what? I'm going to play my Abyssal Harvester. Demon Warlock. Tap, exile a card from, it's a specific cards. Exile a creature card from a library, and I can make a nightmare copy of it.
From a library?
No, sorry.
Graveyard.
Library would be great. No, library is not afraid. It's a graveyard. Basically allows me to make a nightmare copy of something. But I can only have one at a time, because once you make the new one, you have to get rid of all the old ones. All right. And for those at home, that's a 3/2. I'm done.
Well, untap. Still no upkeep triggers. I will draw for turn. You know. Actually, no. Move to combat, and I will swing my Felidar at you. It's a 3/4.
I unfortunately take that too. 1, 2, 3. This is not looking good.
Gain my 3. Move to main phase 2. Pay 3. For a midnight snack. At the beginning of my end step, if I've attacked this turn, I have a food token. I have a food token. Food token is pay 2, tap, sacrifice, gain 3 life.
Okay. This is going to be interesting.
I think a fish will make a good food token.
Okay.
We'll just have it always like that.
Yeah. So the fish represents a food token. All right. We can do a third game. We'll get some food tokens in here.
All right.
I was looking at a third game at this point.
I will pass.
All right. Untap going into upkeep. Upkeep trigger. Draw. Lose a life. And then normal draw. Well, I'm not having the problem this game that I had last game. So we are going to look at this going, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my own Feldar Savior too. And I'm going to put it on Abyssal. And,
Miss Trigger.
okay. And put it on him.
Due to you using life, he's supposed to get a +1/+1 counter.
Okay. So there we go. And we're done.
Right. Untap, leaving the fish tapped because it is a food token. Draw for turn. Okay, finally, a swamp.
Ah, you were waiting on that second swamp.
Waking on the second swamp. Let's go ahead and use it.
You've only got 3 double black cards in there, so.
Pilfer. Favorite.
All right. Man, this is going to hurt. You only get 1 of 2 choices. The other 3 are land.
Well, let's go ahead and get rid of your Squishinate too.
Yep, I figured so. That's what I would have taken.
And then just to be safe at this point in time, we'll give my lifelink hexproof.
Okay.
I will go ahead and swing. Swing at 3 at you.
Okay. So he's a 3/4?
He's a 3/4.
This guy's a 3/4. So we're going to double block.
All right.
3/4 and a 1/1. So.
Let's see. In response to blockers, we can still do.
Yep. In response to blockers, you can still do stuff.
And we'll pay 2 and give him +2/+0. And it also gains whenever this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and create a treasure token. So he is now for a 5/4.
Okay.
Moving to assigning damage. This is a 4 toughness.
Yeah. There's a 1 toughness. You got enough to kill them both.
I will kill both.
Okay.
But you will still have enough to kill mine.
Yep. And I get 3 life off of that.
I will gain 5 life. And when it dies, it will come back to the battlefield tapped without the +1/+1 counter. And do we have a treasure token?
No, we don't. Well, we do. It's just
elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm fine with him. That can just be a treasure token.
Okay.
And then I will gain 5 life. And you do not lose any life this turn.
Nope.
So no trigger from him. Right.
All right. Read your trigger on him again.
Whenever this creature enters. Oh.
Yeah. So you get
he does re-enter. Yeah. Okay, well.
Yep. So
we'll bounce. I'll get that +1/+1 counter back then.
There you go. All right. Nothing to untap. Off the friction arena during upkeep. And lose my life. And then my regular draw. Play the Plains. We'll play a Vengeful Blood Witch. When this creature or another creature dies, I gain a life, you lose a life. Followed up with Johnny's Pride Mate. I gain a life, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Too bad that's not when I lose a life. I guess I'll be doing a lot more of that. I'm done. How big is Mr. Blackie over there?
6/6.
Yeah.
I'll untap. I'll keep draw. Another swamp. Let's do some organization here. All right. Let's go ahead and swing the 6/6 at you.
We'll block with him.
All right.
He dies, but when he dies, you lose a life. I gain a life. And when I gain a life, he gets a +1/+1 counter.
All right.
Okay. And you're still in second main.
I'm going to give lifelink to him, and then I will pass.
I mean hexproof.
Hexproof.
At the end of your turn, the skeleton comes back.
All right.
So we'll bring that guy up. Now we do untap, upkeep trigger, lose a life. And I do it a little different every time, as long as I do it. And then that. Yep. Do my own midnight snack. I now have a food token someplace. My food token is red. And we already know what it does. If you attack, you get a food token in turn. So I don't have a food token yet. So we'll attack with a 1/1.
Yeah, I'll take 1.
All right.
Will raid constantly trigger? Or is that only on enter?
At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a food token. So.
Alright, so I should have a lot more foods then.
I will get a food because I attacked this turn. And move on to the next one. Pass turn.
Okay.
Food is 2 in sack.
2 sack for 3 life. And that's my treasure token. All right. Draw. Land. Well, let's send the 6/6 at you.
Okay. 2 in tap. 2 in sack for the food.
2 sack for the food.
Sack my food that I just got to gain 3 life. 1, 2, 3 life, which gives him another +1/+1 counter. And we're going to block with the harvester.
All right.
So it's a 3/2. Not that it really matters.
And then since I attacked, I get a food token. Somewhere
in there you got a food token.
1, 3. And I will pass.
Okay. I noticed something on the harvester. It only works on creatures put in the graveyard that turn. So I lose my 1 life. I'll Phyrexian in Arena, draw a card, and draw a card. Man, 1 round too late. Swamp. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Valkyrie's Call. This is the one that when a non-token creature dies, I return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. The +1/+1 counter has flying and is an angel addition of the types. Non-token angel. And I believe that's you control, so
Yeah.
I don't get to return yours. And this may be a waste. We're going to pilfer you. Anyway,
Expansion.
get rid of that thing. Seems like that's the card of choice to get rid of with that. All right, I am done.
Untap. I'll keep draw. Another land. We'll swing both at you.
Okay. He is how big?
3.
3/4?
3, 4, 6, 6.
Okay. We'll block the 6/6 with the skeleton. We'll block the 3/4 with the 4/4.
All right.
So skeleton dies, comes back, +1/+1 counter, and is an angel with flying now.
All right. And then I will gain 3 life. Then let's see. 3. We'll pay 1, give him hexproof. That'll be turn.
All right.
Then in return, I will get a food.
All right, during my turn, lose a life, draw a card off Friction Arena, and then draw my normal card. Yeah, we'll just do that. Swing for 4.
All right, I will take 4.
All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Armister Guide, Vigilance. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature I control. And for 2, Crystalline Barricade, Defender, 0/4. I have hexproof, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures I control. So, and I attack, so I get my food token back. And that's it.
All right. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Let's go ahead and pay 2 for a Youthful Valkyrie. 1/3 flyer. Whenever another angel I control enters the battlefield, I put a +1/+1 counter on this creature.
On that creature.
Okay. Then I will pass.
All right. Before I untap, at the end of your turn, I'm going to go ahead and sack my food, gain my 3 life that I need desperately, and pump this guy. How are we doing?
Doing good.
All right, now I'm moving to upkeep. I'm sorry, moving to untap. Now upkeep, lose one of those lives I just got, draw a card, and draw my normal card. All right. I will swing him with my flying 2/2 skeletons angel.
2/2. All right. I will declare no blocks.
All right. I do no pumping. You take 2. And 4. Solemn Simulacrum. Enters the battlefield, I can go look for a basic land card, put it into play. And I believe it is tapped, then shuffle. Swamp. I've only got swamps and plains in here, so. We didn't have any special cards. When that creature dies, i.e. the Solemn Simulacrum, I will get to draw a card. And I have a feeling that drawing a card is very important in this game right now. Since it's allowing me to do this. The Sanguine Siphoner. Vampire Warlock, this creature attacks, each opponent loses a life, and I gain a life. So, end of turn, get my blue token back.
Alright. We've untap, upkeep, draw. Nothing but mana.
Oh, hitting that mana curve. How big is our little friend over there?
He's 6/6.
He's a 1/3.
1/3. Well, you don't have any other flyers. Let's go hit you for 1.
Okay. Hit me for 1.
Then I will pass.
And at the end of your turn,
I will
do the get 3 back by sacrificing my food token I made. Pump him. He's now a 6/6. And that's it. Untap, upkeep trigger, draws a life. 1 life, not 2. I know you would prefer that, but and then draw my normal card. Oh, I forgot to untap my little guy there. All right. You love him, you hate him, baby. Tiny bones. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Zombify. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is a toughie. Do I bring back the Harvester or do I bring back the Feldar Savior? Feldar Savior. Lifelink. Comes into play. I get to put +1/+1 counters on 2 creatures. Well, I'm going to put it on my flyer. And do I put it on the Savior or do I put it on this gentleman? Well, that's a toughie, guys. I mean, they're all good targets to put a +1/+1 counter on. But I'm going to go ahead and spread it out. We now have a 5/5 Vigilance. And when I attack with 3 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on 1 creature or all creatures?
1 creature.
Put a +1/+1 target creature I control. Okay. So he's a 5/5. He's a 6/6. He's a 3/3 flying. This guy just came in. These guys came in last turn. I'm going to double check. When you attack with 3 more, it does not have to be him.
Does not have to be him.
All right. Well, and I'll attack with the Solemn Simulacrum, triggering him to put a +1/+1 counter on him, making him a 7/7.
I will block Sad Robot.
All right, and take
7, 8.
10. 7, and that's a 3/3.
Yes. Okay.
Take 10, and he goes to the graveyard, and
Then don't forget the draw card.
get to draw my card. Hopefully it's something useful. Wouldn't you know it? I'm actually 1 shy. Oh man, let's go ahead and move this guy up. He came in last turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have anything to discard,
Nope.
though. That's the problem. See, that card does me absolutely no good if they got an empty hand, which you will make sure you have for the rest of the game, I have a feeling. Unless it's an absolute have to. All right. None of that was lifelink.
Nope.
Ooh, but he died, so I had a trigger where? I didn't put the guy in. I thought I had a trigger, folks. I do not have a trigger.
Right.
I'm done.
Well, untap, draw, mana once again. If only this was every turn. That Phyrexian Arena would be feeding it.
Yes. But luckily it's combat damage, right?
Yes. Solemn comes back.
Oh, you're right. Solemn comes back. He is a now... Thank you. He's a 3/3 flyer, and I get to look for another land card. Thank you for catching that.
You're welcome.
See, folks? That's good magic. It comes into play tapped. I choose another swamp.
Is it tapped?
Yes.
Okay.
It comes into play tapped. And it didn't. It would have actually changed the hand, but I'm pretty sure it comes into play tapped. All right.
All right. Hitting you for 1 doesn't help when you're gaining 3.
And I've got 2 flyers now.
You do have 2 flyers.
Thank you for catching that. I completely forget about that. It's way down here at the bottom.
I will pass.
And I will do my standard, get rid of that food token, bring me up to 20, pump him to a 8/8, and that doesn't do me any good, and can't do it on your turn anyway. All right. And we turn. You know, it's the one thing we didn't pull, either one of us, I mean, for this game, out of our foundation. Board wipe. Breaks an arena trigger, lose a life, draw a card, and then draw my normal card. Oh boy. Just keep the land as balanced as I can. 1, 2, and 3, 4. I will attack with those 4 creatures. I'm moving him to the back just to get him out of the way. So he is a 3/4. He is a 8/8. And these 2 are flying, 3/3, and that's a 1. That's a 3/3. So both your flyers are 3/3s.
Okay.
And he's an 8/8. And he's a small guy.
We'll go ahead and block your 8/8.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at 3,
6,
6, 9.
9, I believe. Yeah, 9.
Okay.
And he's only a 6/6.
Yes.
Okay. No death touch or anything weird.
Nope.
All right. I did gain 3 off of the life link. So that's 1, 2, 3. He pumps 1. Oops, I got to get another counter out. And he did his thing. Where did I put the 1 counter for him? You're right. Thank you. And food token. Second main. Angel of Finality, flying. When this creature enters, exile target player's graveyard. I'll exile your graveyard.
All right.
And you have no cards in hand, right?
No cards in hand.
I didn't think so. That's it. That's all I can do.
All right. I will draw a card.
Oh, and my food token actually technically didn't come in until the end of my turn. So I had cast this first into the food token. A little out of order, but it didn't affect anything.
Kill is hot.
Ah.
Give it haste. I don't believe you. You do have a flyer.
I do have a flyer. I do. That's why I cast him.
Well,
You can block 2.
block 2. Right. Let's pass.
Right.
Hopefully I'm past the point of nothing but mana.
I'm hoping you're not here for the next round, to be frank. We won't do the food token just yet. I normally do, but lose my 1 life. Phyrexian Arena trigger. Okay. And those that have been watching on the thing, you know what I've been drawing for 3 rounds. Oh, you may not like this. You may not like this at all. Inspiring Paladin. And Inspiring Paladin. It's Human Knight. During your turn, this creature has first strike. During your turn, creatures you control with +1/+1 counters have first strike.
Yep.
So that comes in very, very handy. So, oof. We're going to swing, swing, swing.
What happened to a +1/+1 counter on him? He had one at one time.
I probably moved it to another one. I don't remember putting a counter on him because I had 2 other targets when I came in, these guys. And I didn't attack. Oh, I did. No, I put it on this guy. I don't believe he did. I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the game. So I'm not going to attack with him anyway. We will attack with the angel. Him, both of these guys. That guy. I'm attacking with 3+ creatures. Putting a counter on him.
Well,
so effectively, all my guys now have first strike for this turn.
Definitely blocking that. And then what am I looking at?
6.
6.
4, 10.
13.
13 total.
Well, 13.
And you've blocked the big one, so I'm not counting that in the big 13. That's 13 on the remaining creatures.
No, let's see how lucky I get. That's all I will block. In response to me declaring blockers. 2, 4, 6, 8. I will gain 12 life.
Okay.
Let's do it that way. Damage, assuming you have no responses.
No, I do not have anything I can't respond with, actually.
This will die.
That dies immediately.
And then I take 13.
You take 13. I gain off of this guy
3.
3. And he goes up another 1 in process. And I've gained 3 life, is that correct?
Crack it.
I'm going to crack it, and I've gained 3, you take 3.
Take the 3.
That's Midnight Snack, folks. Second ability, 3, 1 black, so it's 2 colors and a black. Sacrifice this enchantment, target opponent loses X life, where X is the amount of life I've gained this turn. I've gained 3, and I'm finishing him off with 3.
Yep.
Good games.
Good game.
I thought you had me. I flat out thought you had me on that.
I just started flooding.
That's mana flooding for you. And that's pretty much what I thought would happen. It was all down to certain cards, and those cards came into play, and the winner took them. I mean, first game, I will have to admit that it was not my doing. I don't feel. I think it was.
But too many lands, unfortunately.
You got flooded out on land, and I was able to just ping you to death with the little bitty ones before you could get a defense up. Second game was more what I was expecting, a back and forth. He almost had me there. about a third, almost halfway through.
Halfway through.
But
Phyrexian Arena kept you alive, very much so.
Yeah. It came down to the Phyrexian Arena. That card draw came very important. I could do the one life. I was getting it back every turn. And just, it was a free card. And you saw how quickly I got down to a lot of my creatures. Another star I thought for the second game was the Valkyrie, which came into play on your turn, on your game in the first one, because it kept me from killing things.
Yes, it did.
Because I didn't want to come back as Flying Angels because I had no flyers. But second game, I got to use that a couple of times. Zombify came into play. I got to bring things back, I think, both games.
Both games, yes. Pilfer. Pilfer was another one. We saw it from each of us in both games.
Yeah, and you notice that, what was the major target for Pilfer?
It's Quiznate.
Yeah. That gain life, lose life thing, which either one of us had that played, it would have changed things around quite a bit. Tiny Bones did not really factor into this. I didn't get to put too many things out into stash counters and actually play them. I won't say it's a wasted card, but it didn't really do what Tiny Bones does. Yeah. So, and then I had a few extra angels that you didn't have. Yeah. I only think one of those came into play. Actually, one game I was holding the Sarah Angel and I didn't get it out.
My Revenge Rats didn't really come into play either. I never really had too many creatures in my graveyard that made it worthwhile for a bunch of 1/1s.
No. But I had a couple of cards that never made it in the light of day either. So I know that life totals looked a little lopsided. But that second game was not anywhere close to a blowout. It was very close until it was like, oh, now the tide's turned, and that's where it started. And
just got land flooded again in the second game too, about halfway through.
And I was getting land flooded, but I was using my land. I had another card to go with it. If I was only drawing one land at a time, we would have been at a stalemate for a long time. But again, the Valkyrie's Call and Phyrexian Arena is really the two stars of that second game for me. So, but otherwise, our decks were almost identical. 10 card differences. In the end, do you think the extra cards made a difference?
I don't think too much of a difference. I think just getting the card draw out faster was the main thing.
Card draw. I think the Zombify made a difference. It allowed me to bring something back from the graveyard.
Zombify. If I had to pick any of the extra cards, Zombify would be the main one.
The other ones really, like I said, Tiny Bones didn't do anything. This guy helped me hexproof, but never came up. Angels didn't come into play until the very end, so those didn't do it. Those never saw the light of day. That's to make your move. And the Katana thing. And the flying creature couldn't block. Never really came into play either. I was also holding him the first game and couldn't cast him because I had 4 land.
Yep.
So that's it, folks. I think it was a good couple of games. I had fun. I hope you had fun.
I had my fun too.
I hope you guys had fun watching it. Let us know. That new damage rule didn't really come into play. One time we had multiple blockers. Took everybody out anyway, so it didn't really matter at that point. Just got to make sure you get all your triggers on your raid in the future.
Yes, you got to learn a little bit more about raid.
So I think even if you'd have had those extra 2 or 3 food tokens, it would maybe bought you around.
Bought me around. I think it probably would have got you down to low single digits, but by that point, I'm flooding on land once again.
So tell us your thoughts. Go down to those comments. Let us know. We'll be doing another one of these. Probably going to go a little further back into history this time.
Yeah.
I've got about 10 or 12 old ones. Started saving these things up about 2022. So at the rate of Wizards putting everything out, we're getting quite a few of them. So if you've got a particular set you'd like us to do a pre-release for, let us know in the comments. We'll see if we've got one. We might do that next time.
All right.
Like, subscribe. Hit the bell notification, all that obligatory stuff here at the end. Thank you.
See you next time.